From your survey list page, you're able to do a number of things, including going into a survey and seeing the data. You're also able to create a survey from this point. Over in the corner, you can have this plus button. Now, if you hover over it, it'll say Create New Survey. If I click on it, it's going to give me this new survey dialog. Inside of here, it's going to give you a few options. This is what we call the Survey Builder. And the Survey Builder has three main sections. Really, panels are what we call them. First is this main panel. This main panel is where you'll see a facsimile of your survey. It's not exactly what your survey looks like, but it is a very close representation. On the left side is the question organization panel. This is where you can add questions or move questions up or down by dragging and dropping them. On the right side, we have the editing panel. Right? And this is not the editing, this is really the editing metadata panel is the best way to describe it. Going back to our survey, we've got this wonderful survey that's just been filled out. Let's go look and see how the data comes in and how we can utilize some of this data inside of a survey dashboard. I'm going to go back to my surveys. I'm going to come into my Acme mental health survey that we were looking at earlier. I'm going to filter by all time so we can see a bunch of these. Now, when you come into a survey dashboard, you're immediately greeted with a bunch of different options. We've gone over the time filter, right? Where you can see this month, last month, year to date, 1 year, all time, or a custom timeline, right? And you see how the data changes. But above that are a bunch of different things. First, you have this little phone icon. If I click it, it's going to give me the options for my phone survey. Each survey can have a phone number set up that people can call and take the survey that way. Right now, this is the phone number that is registered to this survey. If I were to call this phone number, I would then be able to take this survey over the phone. It'll read me the questions, I respond, and it will record the response inside of the dashboard. I can remove that phone number, I can copy it, and then from here I could add a new one if one hasn't been set up yet. Next to that is the different survey languages. Much like in the Survey Builder, I can turn on and off the various survey languages at this point. If I decide I no longer need Spanish, I toggle that button off and it will no longer appear on my survey. From here, I can go to Survey Links. Inside of Survey Links, I see all of the links to my survey. This I can send out via an email, a text message, any way you want to distribute this for people to be able to take your surveys. You have your actual survey link, and then you have the test link. The test link is just the same survey, but it appears in test mode where any responses will not be captured and recorded in the dashboard. It's a great way for your team to be able to try it out, understand what's being asked, and give feedback about the questions that are being asked without actually capturing information inside of the dashboard. You also below have this short URL. A short URL is simply the same concept of the survey link in a much more manageable thing to be able to send out or put on a poster. A lot easier for someone to type in that short URL than type in this long one above. From here, I can also see my vanity URL. A vanity URL is very similar to the short URL, but it allows me to change it and edit the part here. By editing it, I can change basically it to whatever I want, so it's an easier thing to be able to remember it. This Acme MH is a lot easier to remember than LTSC5PAU, for instance. Below that, I also have a registration code. This is the code I type into a kiosk to connect a kiosk and survey together. Then I have QR codes. A QR code that I can then put up anywhere I want, add to posters, do various things with it, and be able to allow people to be able to scan it on their phone and take them to the survey. Lastly, below that, I have the ability to print off the survey. Once I print the survey, I can pick the language that I want it printed in. I download the PDF of it. And from there, if I want to, I can take a picture of a filled out paper survey and hit upload a completed survey. And I can upload that paper survey that's been filled out into the dashboard. It'll automatically record those responses and add it to the dashboard. Back on the dashboard, I now have this Generate Reports tab as the next thing. If I click on it, it's going to give me a bunch of different reports to generate. I can generate a PDF of the dashboard that I'm currently looking at. I can download all of the raw data. I can get an executive summary report, really a good high-level overview of how things are going. I can look at a response trends analysis, see how we're trending compared to past months, past years. Are things going up? Are things going down? Day to day, are things improving? I can get a topic and theme deep dive, a report that will run and will look at all of the information that's been added and see if there's any topics that are emerging, like in the previous example, potentially food. Maybe after running this report, that gives me the place that I can say, okay, let's run a new survey on some of these topics to get more feedback. Below it, I also can see a staff performance feedback. This will do a report that shows anything that is mentioning staff in any capacity. This can be good, it could be bad, right? But anywhere staff is mentioned, it's going to create a report about that. Action plan effectiveness. I haven't shown you action plans, but if you're running action plans, it'll show you how effective they are by being able to see the day one started and the feedback you got it from that point on. So you can see, are our plans actually impacting the satisfaction of the clients that we're serving? And then lastly, the alert and escalation summary, which will show you the different alerts and escalations that may be coming through. Like that alert that I potentially set up earlier, it will be able to give me a report of how many times am I getting those alerts? How many times am I getting those 1 stars or whatever else I set that alert to be? This is generating reports. I can also come in here and manage users. This is going to be a place where I can manage who has access to the survey itself, who is able to see it, who's able to edit it, and who's able to add other people. If I want to, I could come in here and change this sales demo to a support person, or I could make them the admin or the owner of the survey. Or if I just want to add a new user, I can come in, enter their email, and select a role for them. This is just managing the users on this particular survey, not necessarily on your organization. If you want to manage your users for an organization, you'll go into your organization page and manage the users at that point. When you're adding them there, you can give them access to all of the different surveys that you have running if you'd like to. And we've already clicked the edit survey and gone in there.